Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me again today. This is your host, ID Jester, and welcome back to a very special episode. We are starting a brand new 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign online on
Hello.
Roll20. And with me tonight, we've got Daniel, Mark, Matthew, James, and Carlos. They are going to be leading their brave adventures through the Hoard of the Dragon Queen adventure. So welcome one and all.
Yo.
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
So for you guys at home, just joining us for this campaign, we're going to be posting these videos every Thursday night. We're going to be playing through this adventure, and you'll get to see our brave adventurers go through this campaign step by step. I will be following along basically through the campaign book, but I will be changing things up just to keep everyone on their toes. So tonight we're just going to introduce the characters really quickly, and then we're going to get started. So first, Daniel, good evening to you.
Yo again.
Hey, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your character, which one you're playing?
All right. Well, good thing too, because a little bit is pretty much all I've had time to come up with so far. I had about 2 hours to put her together. She's up here on the top. Her name is Naya. She is a human druid, and yep, there she is over
Yep,
there.
right here, right.
Yep,
Female human druid. Excellent.
yep. And yeah, I do play a lot of female characters just because most people don't deal with it.
Oh, I love female characters. I love playing them myself.
Yep.
So give us 3 words to best describe Naja?
Naya.
Naya,
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
Naya.
J's pronounced like a Y. I just thought it sounded cool. Also, I think that's like a Scandinavian thing because I used to know a girl whose name was Anya, but she spelled it Anja. So yeah.
Naya.
Oh,
Got it.
interesting fact about me, by the way. I live near an airport. You may not have guessed, but anyway. Well, okay. So 3 words. I gotta shrink it down to just 3, huh?
Yep, just 3 words to kind of overview of what your character is. So that way we can explore and find out more about Naya as the campaign progresses.
All right. Well, let's see. I gotta crush it down to just 3 words. Well, like I said, she is a druid. She is from. I actually hadn't decided which one of these mountain ranges yet. Let's say the Gray Peak because I like the sound of it. She's from a tiny little village in the middle of there that's like so tiny it doesn't even have a name, and there's like maybe 100 people in the whole place. So I guess word number 1, let's go with devoted, as in she is devoted to her home. She's spent her whole life there. This is the first time she has ever left home before, and I think I actually, when I was doing the background, she picked the Outlander background. I picked the one that said, I once ran 25 miles in a day to warn my village of an approaching orc horde. I'd do it again if I had to. So that's the first thing.
All right, devoted. Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, the second thing is, if I had to go with a second word, I would say blunt. She does not, mince words. If she doesn't like you, you will know it. She's, like I say, she's from like this tiny little backwater village in the middle of nowhere. They don't have much in the way of etiquette there. People just, are very plain spoken, so they say what they think. And the third, she would say determined. I think most other people would say stubborn. Like if she's gonna do something, she's gonna do it. Once she makes up her mind, you're not gonna talk her out of it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well,
And that kind of ties into her background, but you haven't gotten to that part yet. So yeah.
beautiful. Well, nice to meet you. I hope we have many good adventures together.
Yep.
Next up, we have Mark. I'm trying to use names as well as characters for you viewers at home so you can kind of match up voices with characters as well. So,
Hey there.
Mark, how are you?
Pretty good.
Great. And who are we going to be playing tonight?
My character's name is Gavin. He's a male dragonborn warlock.
All right, so that would be this token here. I'm also trying to match up tokens with voices as well. And what 3 words would best describe Gavin?
The first one would probably just be carefree. Very carefree. The second one would be tad selfish. And the third word would definitely, and the most important one would definitely be love struck. He's a fool in love with a being beyond his comprehension.
Ah, great role-playing opportunities there. I see some inspiration coming. Excellent. Matthew, good evening to you, sir.
Good morning, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning.
I live in
Japan.
Japan, so it's 9 in the morning over here.
Oh, wow.
No problem.
That's some dedication there.
Yeah, no joke.
It works out fine for me because I work nights. Anyway, I'm playing Hollis. He is a human ranger from Icewind Dale, and I would describe him as practical, materialistic, and ambitious. He's a bounty hunter from Icewind Dale, and he's kind of sick of living in the sticks and wants to make it big. So he can live in a big house somewhere.
All right. That is great. James, good evening.
Hey.
Who are you playing tonight?
I'm going to be playing Barlin, Drow, or Drow.
Okay.
Level 1 fighter for now, and we're going to see how I develop him later on. But he is pretty much going to be just like Naya, and also determined.
Okay.
A little bit uppity in a sense that he might think he's slightly better than everyone, but not so much in a mean way. And lastly, I'll go with tends to do what he wants before actually like thinking things through. Fully.
So very spontaneous, maybe. He just does what he does it and then thinks about the ramifications later.
Pretty much.
Excellent. So yeah, a lot of this information is good for obviously us at home that are trying to learn about your characters, but also their fellow characters as well. So that way we understand exactly how the interaction is going to take place between these characters. Carlos, not to be left last. How are you tonight?
I'm doing splendid.
Excellent. So who are you playing tonight?
I am piloting Mr. Jacob Holyfield up here in the top left with the gorgeous golden outline. He is an ex-military human cleric, and his 3 words would be upstanding, driven, and jaded.
Wow. I mean, we're just bam, bam, bam. Great. All right, so you must have a really good handle on this character because you know right off the bat exactly what his feelings and thoughts are about everything.
That I do.
Excellent. Well, welcome one and all, and we will be beginning here in the Hoard of the Dragon Queen. For those of you who are not familiar with Faerun, if you are familiar at home or for your PCs playing the game, we are playing in the Forgotten Realms continent of Faerun, up in the top west-hand corner of the land continent known as the Sword Coast, obviously. There are many very famous areas and locations within the boundaries of this map. Down here towards the bottom is Baldur's Gate. If any of you played the computer games from centuries gone by, that is where the computer games are located. Up here at the top is Neverwinter. There's a multiplayer online game that you can actually get into and play in and around the city of Neverwinter as well. And of course, as one of our characters had already mentioned, the Icewind Dale series of books and has been published out there, is located up there in the Icewind Dale. So, a very famous location. Down at the bottom of your guys' map, you will see a little token that basically represents the party. So, for whatever your reasonings, whatever your history, whatever your character's backgrounds, you are currently in the city of Burdusk, which is located, obviously... Oh, I can actually shift-click again. I learned that the other day. Down here at the south end of the map. And you've been hired by a merchant by the name of Coleman, and basically he just tells you guys that he's hired you because there's been some rumors going around the little towns down here in the south end of the Sword Coast that there's been many bandits and sightings of creatures, and people are being attacked out in the open now, and he's got to get some supplies over to the village of Greenest, which is about a 4 or 5 day journey away, and he wants to make sure he can get there without any trouble. So he's hired you guys on to help him make sure that he arrives there. It's just a couple mules with some crates and some rugs and stuff that are strapped to the mules, and then you just lead them, down the path. And so it's about a 4 or 5 day journey. He pays you pretty good. He pays you 10 gold pieces for this. He's got some pretty important stuff that he needs to get to Greenest, which again is down here located. So does anybody have any questions for him or anything in general about the area, anything going on, or anything in particular?
Well, I suppose if at some point along the journey, like, I just have a moment off to myself with him, I suppose I would just, like, ask him, by the way, while you were in, I gotta learn these names, Burdusk, or whatever other villages you've been to, you haven't seen a man, dark-haired, about a little under 6 feet tall, kind of weaselly-looking scar on his left cheek?
Well,
Might have been traveling with 3 others.
You could be describing many people. I do a lot of traveling around, but I see lots of people. I might have run into those fellows, but I don't even know where I could have. It might have been up in Trio. It could have been in Darkhold. It's probably some time ago. I remember seeing a gentleman with a scar, but I mean, with the events going on throughout Faroon right now.
This one would have been trying to sell a gold necklace, probably.
Oh, a gold necklace? Well, I haven't had anybody come up to me asking about a gold necklace, though. So I apologize. I can't help you there, sir.
Ma'am.
Apologize, ma'am. Apologize, ma'am. I don't have that information.
Naya grumbles something under her breath and kind of goes back to her spot in the formation or whatever we're in.
Looking at the map, is this sort of like a plains area, like lots of open fields?
It is hilly grasslands. You can see kind of the. Let me get a little thing here. You can see there's many elevation chains, lines here, so it's kind of hilly, but it's mostly grasslands that you're flowing through. Of course, occasionally you'll see some trees and some outcropping of trees, but mostly it's open grassland.
Okay, and you said this trip was going to take 4 days, 5 days?
4 or 5 days, depending on your speed, yes.
Guess I'll just go ahead and subtract that from my rations.
He's going to supply your rations.
Oh, well then I won't.
He's bringing along. He's brought along some food and some supplies that way.
Well, I'm never going to get rid of this jerky.
Now, are we getting paid ahead of time or after?
You'll get paid when he arrives safely and is able to sell his goods, which he assures you there will be no trouble. And you kind of look and you see some very nice items that he's been strapped to the donkeys. He shouldn't have any problem selling these items.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try out a perception check.
And it's just us in the cart along with the driver.
Whoa! Critical
Whoa.
Perception. That was just
You see
me,
everything.
as we're on the road, just keeping an eye out for badness that I'm supposed to be protecting him from.
Yep. You do a very good job. In fact, you do notice, often you're kind of, checking out off the side of the road just to make sure everything's secure, and you do see, it looks like some tracks, maybe even like a little campground, and maybe somebody out here in the middle of the grasslands had built a campfire. You don't see many people traveling by themselves, and it's just like a single campfire. So, yeah, you begin to believe that maybe there is something going on with these stories about, bandits being out and evil brewing in the southern region here. So you definitely decide to keep your guard about you and keep your wits, and after you spot that, you really guys start, in the first couple days it's this is going to be another cakewalk, but after you spot that, it's like, okay, this is real now. This could be life and death that we didn't realize we're actually getting ourselves into.
Hollis will roll survival and try to determine the species or race of the bandits. And if it's humans or orcs, he gets advantage, because those are his favorite enemies.
Well, you see some boot tracks as well. So you think probably some kind of humanoid, normal humans or normal-sized humanoids, but you do see some smaller feet prints as well, intermixed with those boot prints from the normal-sized humanoids.
Okay.
I just realized my nature skill is only 4. That kind of sucks. I'm a druid. I'm supposed to be good at nature. Really?
It's really high.
Do you have
Oh.
your can't think of the word proficiency? Couldn't think of the name of it. Do you have your proficiency built into that?
He has to.
Should. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. No, it's based on int rather than wisdom, so.
Hmm.
Well, anyway.
Anywho,
Sorry,
yeah.
continue.
No, that's fine. After about 3 or 4 days, you get past the river, starting up the road here, and like I mentioned, it's kind of a windy road that's kind of going up a hill and then lazily down another hill and kind of around another hill, and whatever is easily flowing through the hills, almost like a river would kind of lazily wind between some hill lines. And you get about 4 days. You're about a day away from Greenest, and you're camped out for the evening. Why don't everybody give me a perception check, if you don't mind?
Because I already did. I rolled a 20. Oh, okay,
That was
fine.
3 days ago.
Oh, but it's a crit. Okay, fine.
It lasts forever. Oh wait, are we in perception?
I know what I could do. I could
Yeah.
cast Speak with Animals and ask the bunnies if they've seen anybody.
My
Does
character's
it
probably just chilling
count
out.
as a disadvantage if I'm since it's sunlight out?
I don't think it's gonna matter much.
You know what? It doesn't even matter.
Yeah. You're basically got everything covered up in your hood, and you're not like scouting around during the day. You're the I'll protect us at night guy. You guys protect us during the day. Right?
Yeah, just sit under a tree.
Staring at the ground. Yeah.
Staring at the ground, kind of checking on tracks. As you get about a day away, Hollis, let's see, perception. Where is? Oh, there. Naya and Hollis kind of walking up front, and you notice some tracks again, and basically they look very similar to the tracks that had you'd seen before a couple days ago on the road where the camp was. Again, you see some boot footprints, and you also see these little claw, almost looking like animal-ish clawed feet that are kind of walking, and they're kind of headed down the road, actually towards Greenish at this point.
Question.
Yes, sir?
Sorry.
No, that's right.
Would it be survival or animal handling to see if I could identify the animal from the tracks? It doesn't matter because I have a 5 to either one. So, can I try it?
Survival.
Probably survival.
I don't know.
Those are tracks, all right.
Those are tracks.
Yeah, you're just not 100% sure.
I lived in the mountains all my life. This is the first time I've ever been in such a flat place. I don't know what they have here.
Yep,
I think Paws made those.
exactly.
Something.
All right, so do you guys just camp out for the evening then, or how do you feel about the situation of finding these tracks headed down the road towards where you're headed?
Can we be outside the cart and just like escort it like?
There's
in,
no
like-
cart. You are just walking.
Yeah.
Oh, walking.
Just a bunch of
Sorry,
mules.
I'm thinking-
Yep.
Yeah.
The merchant's kind of just got a rein of mules that he's just tugging behind him.
Can
I'm
we
down
make
to
it to town
keep going.
before sundown?
Sorry, what was
Is the
that?
town is the town close enough to reach before nightfall?
Give me a survival check to see if you can determine that.
Can I roll one as well?
Sure.
I'll try one. Oh.
Well, pretty good.
All right. 16 is 16. Well, that's an easy one to determine. You can pretty much determine that if you guys put up the paces pretty good, that you can get there probably around sundownish. You're not exactly sure, but you think, if you start, you don't have to sprint there or anything, but if you guys just start huffing a little bit faster, you should be able to make it there by sundown instead of just spending the night out here.
I
Something
will
tells me
just.
it'd be in our best interest to get there sooner rather than later.
Well, I'll consult our boss and ask him how he feels about it.
Yeah, he's kind of worried right now. You can tell that this older gentleman is probably without skills such as yourselves. He probably doesn't know magic. He doesn't even carry a weapon with him. He's older, kind of just a lost soul out here in the grasslands by himself. So yeah, he's all in favor of heading out and keep going. And even if you arrive at Greenest, at night, it's best then, now that we've seen tracks, it's so close to the city. It's time to do something about that. Let's keep going. And like I said, and even if we make it there in the middle of the night, it's worth it. And
My noble heart goes out to him. Put my hand around him, and I just say, you know what? Hold this dagger just in case.
excellent. And so he tries to grab the dagger out of your hand and grabs the blade. Ow! Ow! Oh! Ah!
I come over and put my hand on his shoulder. And I assure you, you won't need to be using a dagger. You're in capable hands. And if it would make you feel better, if we get up the pace, we can make it there before nightfall.
All right.
Elbow whoever it was that just stabbed the old man. Be careful with that.
I didn't stab him.
Sorry, I was in the middle of looking up
Incapable
a scalpel.
hands. Incapable hands. Get it? Anyway, sooner or later,
that
doesn't really
almost inspired the DM. Almost. All right, so you guys start huffing down the road, and a couple of you are actually in better shape or out in front. A couple of you are keeping back towards the merchant. And it starts getting nightfall, and you're like, oh man, I don't know if we're gonna make it there. I don't know. And it does turn dark, and with your drow eyes, you're kind of like, oh, it's dark now. What are we gonna do? We can't see. If we light a torch, we won't be able to see where we're going. We'll lose track of the road. We'll get lost. We'll be out here. But you know that the drow there has perfect vision at night. And if you guys just kind of hold on to a rope that he's towing, he can assure you, as long as he doesn't roll really crappy on his check, that he can continue down the road. So the drow character, again, I apologize, that would be
James.
James, thank you. James, if you want to give us a survival check with advantage because of your dark vision.
And if he screws this up, I have 10 torches, and I can light them with druidcraft, so...
Oh, well, there
look
you
at
go.
that. He
hey,
rolls
well.
a
I got
natural,
you guys.
natural.
Capable
Absolutely.
hands.
Yeah, we all get to go hold hands to each other.
All right.
Oh, and also, like, for the record, I'm, like, as we're traveling, I'm staying sort of, like, in the middle of the convoy or whatever, so that if anything comes at us, no matter which direction it is, I'll have, like, an equal shot at it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right, I'm just typing something in to the chat here.
I wonder if it would be worth using Speak with Animals to... I was kidding before, but maybe I now will just find a bunny by the side of the road and ask him if he saw something with claws go past here.
You can do that?
I have Speak with
Well,
Animals.
why don't you wait on that, actually.
Oh,
You have to
all right.
catch them, probably.
That sounds like a DM hint. All right.
Catch your bunny.
We'll be fine.
I'm just trying to make the changes to the text that I need to change so that I can post this. when you approach there we go.
Huh?
All right. And so I put it in the chat log as well, but I will just let you know what had happened. For the past several days, you've been traveling a road that winds lazily across the rolling grasslands of the green fields. Sundown is past and is now dark when you approach the top of a rise and see the town of Greenest just a few short miles away. But instead of the pleasant, welcoming town you expected, you see columns of black smoke rising up from burning buildings. Running figures that are a little more than dots in the distance, and a dark, winged shape wheels low over the keep that rises above the center town. Greenish is under attack by a dragon. I'm going
I'll
to
just
go
hear
ahead
Maya
and...
sort of say out loud, "Ah, hell."
Well,
I clutch my holy symbol and say a prayer to Torm.
next town.
That's 4 days wasted.
I immediately turn to the boss, whose name I already forgotten, tell him to like back the convoy up back behind that hill we just came over and just get out of sight.
Back
Yeah,
up.
he, at this point, even news without dark vision or anything, you can see up ahead is kind of Greenish is kind of down in a valley, and now that you guys are up at the top of this rise on the hill, you can kind of see down in the valley, and you see several buildings on fire. I'm actually going to be switching maps here so you can see what you see. You guys are located... let me get her a little... Oh, it's not going to matter. You guys are coming... You're that way about 1.5 miles down the road. So you're to the east of the town. You are coming into it this way.
Where's the dragon? Can we tell?
The dragon is basically lazily flying over the town. Every once in a while you see down at the middle of the town, you can see on another little rise a stone keep. Very tall stone walls, about 50 feet tall. As you are watching kind of what's going on here, throughout the little town you see little dotted figures kind of jumping in between buildings. You see occasionally a torch, gets thrown through the air and kind of lands on one of the buildings. Obviously, you can see some of the buildings are on fire, such as this one here. Basically, the ones that have smoke coming out of the top seem to have some kind of a fire going on them. You can definitely hear the screams and pleas of some of the local residents kind of faintly yell out. You're, like I said, you're still about a mile away, mile and a half away from the town as you see it. And you see this big, ominous form kind of lazily flying through the sky, and he kind of goes out of view up in the darkness, and then he comes down, kind of hovers over the keep for a little bit, and then disappears in the darkness again. So at this point, the merchant Coleman grabs the reins real tight on those donkeys as they kind of start bucking and kicking on the ground. And there's a little patch of trees off to the right, and he says, "I'm headed over there. Oh my gosh!
Good plan.
And so he just starts running with the donkeys across the field and towards the bushes there, and he yells back, "Let me know when it's safe to enter Greenish."
He's likely safer here than with us.
He still wants to go there?
No.
Yeah,
He said, "Let me know when it's safe to go to Greenish," meaning he's going to stay in his little outcropping of trees until you guys come back for him and say it's safe.
Right. Well, yeah. I tell him to keep his head down, and I start running towards the village.
I run right on side of her.
Right behind both of them.
All right.
Not quite what I expected, but this is definitely more exciting. I'm gonna follow them.
All right. So you start huffing down the hill, and
if there's like a tree line by the side of the road or whatever, trying to keep whatever cover I have between, basically trying to stay out of line of sight of the dragon as much as possible.
all right. Like I mentioned, it's dark at night, so unless he's in the area of flames, from the fire from the house, or there is, you can see, you see guards lined up on the top of the keep. They have torches in their hands, so that area is kind of lit up. And as the dragon kind of comes out of the darkness, you can kind of see a vague form, kind of silhouette against the background of darkness, and you hear some attacking going on back and forth, and then before you know it, it kind of vanishes back into the darkness.
All right.
So
All
after,
right. Sorry.
Can I do like a running perception check? Like just to make sure there's no ambushes on the way into town, because they had to find a way into the town, and we don't know if like they're still filing in.
Yep. Let me just finish what I'm going to say, and then you can determine what you guys want to do. Okay. We're going to assume you make it down the hill, and you're approximately, if you notice, there's a scale down at the bottom, and basically an inch is about 100 feet. Okay. So you guys, we're just going to assume, are from where I'm pinging right here, you're about 100 feet to the east of that location, okay? And you're kind of in an outcropping of trees, and you're kind of hidden there, kind of watching what's going on.
Right.
You see the road continue. The road continues into town here, and you can see, what you see there. You notice that there is a. Let me get my pinger again. Down here to the south where I'm pinging, there is a small creek and some tree line, not some trees, apologize, some bushes that line the road, the river as it winds its way through the village. And obviously you notice that in the middle, kind of here in the middle, there's, make sure I got my right tool here. It's different locations have some buildings that are on fire as well. So you basically can take a northern approach, which would kind of, from your tree line would kind of come up this way and maybe around like this. You can take a center approach, or you could take a southerly approach. That is up to you guys. Or if you can think of something else, if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
All right. Well, first question. You said there are like people, I assume, fighting the dragon from the top of the keep. Are they actually fighting? Are there people like up there shooting crossbows and stuff?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Then I have a plan.
Okay.
All right.
Just about to ask.
All right. Well, my plan basically is to try to get within 60 feet of this dragon and cast fairy fire on it, so every attack made against that dragon will have advantage, which makes it easier target.
Really? We're fighting the dragon? Not like a rescue effort?
Well, I'm going to
Just
make it
going-
really easy for the guys
I'll-
shooting at the dragon to shoot it.
Fair enough.
I mean, we can split up. We can have like a help aid team for like the dragon killing, and we can like have the save people team. Can we hear like any immediate screams coming from like any of the buildings?
Yeah, about 100 feet into the town, like in this area here, from your location, you see some figures kind of moving around a little bit, and then they kind of disappear into the alleyway between the buildings, and then just a few seconds later, you see another group down here, and you hear a loud scream, and then it's kind of cut short by whatever. It sounds maybe like a weapon. It's like, type thing. So definitely it is a complete chaos. Occasionally you hear the sound of broken glass. You hear things, getting knocked over, carts being knocked over. You hear people yelling and screaming. It just seems like the town obviously is under attack from whatever it happens to be. Obviously a dragon, but there's absolutely other figures that you see in the location. And if you guys want to give me a perception check with disadvantage, except for the Dro who has dark vision, he could probably see a little bit better.
Okay.
That was actually going to take care of my next question. I was like, is there something else here besides the dragon? But okay.
Yeah, you can obviously hear that it's not just the dragon that's attacking the town. Because first level PCs versus a dragon, just out of character, Um, getting near a dragon with your power and skill level at this point, very, very dangerous.
Yeah, no, I have no
Okay.
illusions as to
Okay.
the likelihood of Naya winning a fight with a dragon, but I figure it's in character for her, and at least she could make it a better target for the guys who are shooting at it. So, but yeah,
Absolutely.
if there's stuff down here to fight, I guess we better do that.
Well, I hear screams.
Okay.
Someone's calling
Yeah,
my name.
I'm down for going straight down the middle.
Change of plan. We head towards the nearest screaming weapon shooting area.
Hollis is going to try to calm the party down before they run off into the fight here, and remind them that 10 gold is not a lot to be paid to fight a dragon, and suggest that we should find the person in charge so we can A, find out what needs to be done, and more importantly, B, find out how much we can get paid for it.
Okay, we'll call a town hall meeting in the middle of a dragon fight. Good plan.
Yeah.
Well,
What if
the
they
keep is
die?
probably the best place to find that.
I don't care about the gold anymore. I mean, come on, I've never run into an actual
Serious?
dragon.
Our primary
say-
concern should be the safety of the villagers first.
Naya's already running towards the nearest bunch of screaming villagers. As soon as she heard this talk about gold, she just got disgusted and moved.
All right. So you see Naya running towards the town,
I
kind of
follow.
right in this location. You hear some screams and you see some figures, obviously lurking in the dark and doing something evilly bad.
Well, in terms of keeping our heads straight, the first step would be to stay together, at least.
Yeah, we shouldn't walk into the village willy nilly. We should definitely form ranks, or some sort of formation.
We kind of already have 2 people in there.
Well,
Good.
at this point, characters have ran in or started running. So if you choose that you wish to also start running in, there's not going to be a let's move in formation type thing.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a minute, let's go in formation. Stop running. It's just going to be chaos as you go in there that way. It's just going to be just like the chaos that's going on in the city.
Well,
Well, the
I
rest
let,
of
I
you-
let out a sigh, clutch my holy symbol, and take off after them.
All right.
Sorry, it's what she would do.
So who has not run off yet?
You.
Gavin's gonna take the back. Stay about 100 feet from the actual fight,
All right.
considering my range is good.
Okay, just a second, guys. I'm trying to get this. We'll see if this works.
So Gavin does follow.
All right. I'll just assume you all decide finally, oh, gosh, what are these people thinking? And just start headed in.
Mhm.
Yeah, the beginning and end of Naya's thought process was basically, oh, hell no. So, yeah.
All right, I'm just loading the map here. Just a second. I'm trying to.
Impulsive, that would be another good word. She does.
Leroy!
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty much.
too late now.
Leroy Jenkins.
Can I add that? Can I have a fourth word?
No, you had your moment to shine, and
His fourth word is Leroy with 12 E's.
Yeah. Naya! I don't have a last name because I'm a peasant.
Hollis is actually going to make a stealth check and try to make his way to the keep and get the attention of the fighters there.
Well, the keep is, if you look at your map, it is
350 feet.
350 to 400 feet away, and it's pitch black. They're probably not going to see you until you get within 50 to 100 feet minimum before they would be able to say, oh, there's somebody trying to wave us down type
And
thing.
that's if they look down to look at you instead of continuing to look
Well,
up at the dragon they're fighting.
I will, then I'll just see if I can get to the base and make my way inside.
So you're
What
not
do we
going with
encounter?
you're not going with the party then?
Before
Uh,
he passes us, what are we encountering?
Well, I'm going to show you here as soon as I'm done loading the map.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't sure which area you were going to go into, so I didn't have the map prepared, but I can quickly and easily add that map in Roll20 here.
Okay, sweet.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. I've got a page of this and a page of this. Oops.
But yeah, I was pretty much just running towards the nearest batch of screaming people in trouble.
Which
Yep.
is the center path.
Copy. I'm sorry?
The center path.
Yep, we're headed towards, you said you were headed towards the area that you had seen or heard danger, correct? So this is where you had heard the danger, so this is where, paste. Alright, let me just reposition them into the spaces here.
That looks pretty dangerous.
I need to check my spells again. I'm gonna spend a lot of time just with this, just flipping back and forth between pages in this book.
You hit the big book.
Alright, I'm just be putting your characters on here in just a second.
90 feet, 20-foot square starting from a point within range.
Excellent. We're at least 4 times
Oh.
the size of each of these.
I run up and
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
no.
huge.
Because you've cheated me!
Oh, look, the city's being attacked by a colony of ant people.
Oh, that's good. Who did that? Who said that?
I did.
I did doesn't tell me who said
Jacob
it.
Holyfield.
There you go. Jacob, the gods have blessed you with inspiration, buddy.
Oh,
Good
yes.
good job. Just
Tom's
before the
blessings upon
just
me.
before the battle even.
Do I get inspiration for running in heedless of danger?
No.
No, because
Aw.
that's what your character would have done. So
Oh.
why would
Oh.
I give you inspiration for doing what your
Because it's
character
what my
would have
character would have done.
done? Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Suddenly, a man with a bucket hat.
Yes. He arrives out of nowhere.
Yeah, I think he's got this under control. Let's move on.
Hello.
Yeah, we can't let it die.
You look safe.
What's going on?
Okay, so start from the ground at a 20-foot square, starting from a point within range. Terrain. So,
Another giant woman.
who looks very unimpressed with the attack?
Yeah,
They're not in danger, that's why.
I've seen better.
So there and
Oh,
sweet. oh wait,
Yeah. I wanna. Yeah, there you go. Would not want to destroy Bucket Man.
yeah.
Hey now, I spent a lot of time trying to find that figure. Alright, so everyone did go, yes. I thought I heard somebody say that they were going to try and not go and go sneaky. Is that?
That is Hollis, I believe.
Yeah, but that's a good point to be at anyway. I'm just gonna sneak around the bottom there.
Alright, so this is what you guys see as you just arrive in the location. I should, of course, now hide everything. Bloop. Now that you've actually seen everything. I'm just going to go ahead with the moon out and the fires that are kind of spreading around. It is basically a dim light for you. But up ahead you see several people kind of trapped against this house. You see several. Do you see their health bars? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you have?
Yes.
Do you see their names?
No.
Okay.
Should we?
No.
No,
Well,
you
we
probably
don't know who
should.
these people are, so
No.
that makes sense.
You should. Yeah. I can see the names. I just didn't set it up so you guys could see it. You see some dead bodies, obviously laying around in this location. Nope. Got to go back to this here. So I'm not gonna make the area all dark and everything, but dead bodies kind of scattered around. You notice that now that you're down here, kind of in the village, looks like some of the torches are obviously thrown up on top of the shingled houses and stuff. So there you see some of the houses have just little areas of fire, but they're not like massively erupting in fire. Obviously,
Perfect.
they're not really.
They're not in danger of burning down.
Yeah, they're
right?
not in danger of burning down. So what
Especially
I
not
need,
with me here, because as I pass, I use my Druidcraft cantrip to put each torch out as I run past it.
well, we will do initiative, and then during your actions. Oh, before we do initiative, I'm going to bring on a character. I'm going to bring on Hollis. Okay. So for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, when you're within somebody's threatening area, you can move freely within that area. So if Hollis and this kobold are engaged, he can completely move around this kobold, getting no attack of opportunities whatsoever. Okay? So that's one of the new additions to 5th edition, is that you can now move within a threatening area without causing attacks of opportunity. If you want to leave an area that is threatened, such as Hollis wants to move away, you have to either take an attack of opportunity, or you have to take the disengage action. Okay? Lastly, and this can come in quite handily as well, let's say Hollis starts his turn up here. You basically have a move action and a action. You can now take your action anytime during your movement. So Hollis can say, all right, I'm going to move 5, 10. I'm now going to do my attack, and then I'm going to go 15, 20, 25. So he can continue his move after he does his attack.
Split movements. Cool.
Yes. And I believe that's pretty much the basics for combat. Kind of quick overview there. All right, so you notice that these little humanoids in front of you are little lizardy creatures. You've heard many stories about them. They're kind of natty little kobolds. But behind one of the kobolds, you see a rather large lizard-like looking creature, kind of following them as well.
I can't tell. Is that like on all fours or is it a humanoid?
He is on all fours, yes. He's like
Let's
a...
see.
I don't know if it gives a better description than my awesome description, but yeah, it's kind of like a demented-looking lizard-like creature. I guess is the best way
Like
to
a
put it.
Komodo dragon or...
It's bigger than a Komodo dragon.
Bigger,
It looks
obviously.
like a kind of a combination of like a lizard and a wolf,
Oh
basically.
god.
Yeah. All right. So what I would like is for everyone to roll initiative, which some of you might have already done.
If I can get my thing open. Shut up, neighbor's dog.
I think I can hit. Was it Control U to add all the enemies? Yep. There we go. All right.
Wow.
My
We
sheet
are
does
on
not want to
top.
let me roll initiative for some reason. All right, I'll do it the old-fashioned way.
I hit a natural
Plus-
20 for initiative, but I got a -1.
Oh!
Wow.
You should have a -1.
I have a...
Oh, crappy dex.
I didn't use
I
the
have, I have, I have
macro.
a 9. I have a 9 dex.
Yeah, that would be why.
All these 20s.
All these crits, holy crap.
Yo, wee.
And then all the not crits.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just typed it in. Could you add my token to the roll?
I'm... Where... I'm not on the list.
You are not on the list. Who's speaking, please?
Daniel,
Daniel.
a.k.a. Naya.
Gavin's not on the list either.
All right, so, Gavin, I'll add you. There you
There
go.
we are. So I have a 21.
7.
21.
How'd I get a 7?
Why is this not going in?
Here's one of the downsides to being a web app. Only one person can have the window open at a time. So let me add the kobolds in, and then I'll ask you for your scores, and I will input them for you. Okay? Because if I'm in it, you can add your thing, but it won't change it because I've got the app open. Actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So just something we got to work through as we figure this all out. So these kobolds got a 16.
Next time I'll use the sheet macro. I think it adds it automatically.
Yeah, if you do, it will add it automatically.
Yeah, I actually tried to use the initiative button on the sheet. I got a little thing that says
You have to select your
attempted to use a
token.
roll command.
Yeah.
Huh?
You have to select your token before you do that.
Oh,
Yeah, so just make sure your token is selected, and then when you hit initiative on the sheet, that's what I did, and it'll do that.
You know what's
Yeah.
interesting now is I can't select my token. Oh wait,
Really?
I know what it is. I still had the arrow
Ruler.
on
Yeah.
because I'm dumb, but I'm keeping that 21 though.
I'm on the list, but for some reason I rolled a 20 and it put me down for
All
a
right,
7.
so I'm just hang on, guys. Let me just go through this.
He's working on it.
Gotcha.
Bar-
I think I somehow edited yours. Honestly, I don't know how. Click
All
on
right.
mine.
Don't worry about it. Barlin,
Stand
what
by.
was your total?
20.
All right. Jacob.
19.
Oh my God, you guys are cheating. Gavin.
7.
7. Okay.
Cheating so hard.
Oh, there's actually an extra Jacob. I'm going to get rid of the extra Jacob. There's an extra one of these. Hollis.
4.
Okay. Naya.
21.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I was in a hurry to get down here.
Kevin. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The kobolds. All right. So now we just sort it all. There we go. All right. So any questions about what you see or what's going on?
None at all.
None at all.
Yep.
All right. So Naya, you are up first. You were actually, that is perfect because you're leading the charge down the hill.
And let me see here. I'm looking at Entangle right now. Grasping weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot square, starting from a point within range. So, does that mean that by 20-foot square, starting from a point within range, does that mean it's a 4x4 area, or it's like this?
It's a 4x4.
It's a 4x4.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's probably a little too huge.
Yeah, it's a
All
first level spell. Yeah.
And the square can start at the edge of your range as well.
That is
Yes.
true.
So,
All right, so-
this is basically, I just put something basically what you would see there.
It's the range on this is 90 feet. So
Okay.
so basically I'm gonna make a 4x4 square with Entangle, getting these guys here.
Those 5, yeah.
In fact, I
Right.
bet there's a drawing tool here. Where's that? Draw shape. Do you want me to draw it, or do you want to draw it?
I got it.
Right there.
Is that what
that's
you
a
wanted?
4x5.
That's a 4x5, yeah.
Oh, hang on.
Can't quite get that last guy.
Sorry.
Well,
try.
I was really
I
excited.
will try
about this.
again.
Maybe I just push it and.
We're all aware of who he's hitting, so.
Magical hernia.
Let me just, I'd like to just, for my peace of mind and everything. All right, so,
Like that. So yeah, I come running around the corner from past this burning building. I see this whole display down here, and like, you remember that part in like the first Lord of the Rings where like Liv Tyler is like at the river and she starts chanting and like the water comes rushing down and washes away the guys. It's kind of like that, only instead it's grass.
all right,
Like
so
I raise
what,
my staff aloft and I'm just roaring and druidic, and the plants and weeds and stuff start springing to life and coming out of the ground and snaring these guys around the ankles.
all right, did they get a save or?
Let's see.
Strength.
For the duration, and this lasts for up to 1 minute, which I think is 10 rounds if it's 6 seconds a round. So, for the duration, these plants turn the ground in the area into difficult terrain. A creature in the area, when you cast the spell, must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plants until the spell ends. A creature restrained by the plants can use its action to make a strength check against your spell save DC. On a success, it frees itself. So yeah, they have to make a strength save, and what is that
Gotcha.
save? It is...
What is your
I
DC?
think that is on... What part of the sheet
Oh.
is that on?
Should be 8 plus proficiency plus spellcasting mod.
Yeah, 8.
Yeah,
so
what's
10,
your mod?
And it's wisdom, so they have to beat a 13, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds right.
All right, so we'll start up in the top right-hand corner, the kobold there in the top right-hand corner. So, strength check, huh?
Strength. Yeah.
This is going to work really well for them. He is restrained. We will go down to the bottom right-hand corner and roll for him. He is restrained. The one in the middle, the kobold, 2 over and 2 down from the right.
Also got him.
He is restrained. The last kobold, probably, unless he rolls really high. Yeah. So all the kobolds now. The other character is strength. Okay, that's a little bit different. He has a chance of succeeding, but we will see. All right, so basically, you just see all these grass and vines just erupt out of the ground and just grab every one of them and just entangle them completely.
Jacob
Good
says,
job.
"Nice one."
Yep. And like every
Wow.
I'm trying to remember how this works.
Can I give him a high
literally
five?
just looked at this. I guess like I'm looking at this like holding my staff aloft with one hand and like pointing with the other hand, and like after it goes off, I just without turning my head, I just kind of turn my free hand to the side, and people can high five it at will. But okay, for the duration, that is difficult terrain. A creature in the area. A creature restrained by the plants can use its action. So on their turn, they can use their action to make another strength check, and if they beat 13, then they can get free. But if they don't, they stay restrained for the full 10 rounds.
All right.
So
They'll
there you
have to
go.
waste their action.
Do you wish to move or anything? You just stay there.
I'm fine here.
All right. Barlin, your drow eyes see off in the distance these vines just grab all these creatures.
Sweet. I want to see if I can. Can I make it to the one outside of the plants?
You have a speed of 30, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Nope, you can make it to... You can do a dash, which is basically a move and then another move.
Is there a charge in 5e?
Nope.
It's a feat
It's a
now.
Oh, it's a feat.
Yeah, it's a feat. It's not just something anybody can do now, but it's better.
If a dash takes away my.
You can't attack if you.
Yeah.
I can't attack.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna move my 30 closest, but right behind the house. If that's possible.
Behind the house. Yep. So
Yeah,
here's the way I want you guys to move, just because it'll make things easier. So we'll just assume this is Barlin moving. He's going to move. He's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And that way I know which way you went. And that way if, you trigger a trap or whatever, I can say, oh, wait a minute. Because if you just go, oh, I'm going to go here, I have no idea which way you went. So,
Okay, so count it off.
yeah, just kind of move. So yeah, you kind of hunkered down there. You can also, there are other actions you can take, which are a dodge action. If you choose the dodge action, you give up your attack, but anybody that attacks you does so with disadvantage. You can also take a help action, which basically gives an adjacent ally advantage into an attack. And we already talked about disengage. Trying to think of what there is more options than that, but ready. You can take a ready action. So Barlin, you can say, if a kobold comes adjacent to me, then I swing my sword at it or whatever.
Okay. I'll take out my sword and rapier and take a ready action for in case anyone comes up to me and I hit him.
All right. So first enemy that approaches me, I'll just hit him. Great. All right. Jacob.
All right, we can move through allies with no problem. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
But
Okay,
they do
so-
provide. You can't shoot through them or attack through them, but you can
Right,
move
right.
through them. Yep.
Okay, I am.
What if I lift my arms up and then he shoots an arrow right under it, just pew.
Yeah, he could do that, but he would have a disadvantage on his attack roll.
Alright, so my speed is 30, so I can move 6 squares. So I'll move through Hollis. So that's 2. It's not letting me. Oh, there we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm trying to get as close to the civilians as I can, and I'm going to use my Sacred Flame cantrip, and I'm going to attack the kobold to the top outside of the square.
All right, this one kind of right there. All right.
Yeah. Alright, so he is going to make a dex saving throw or take a die 8.
All
Is he
right.
So I've got-
disadvantaged because he's distracted by all his friends getting snared by, scrubs?
If it was only that easy, right?
Oh.
As Jacob readies a spell, he exclaims, "Burn, you wretch!"
It's dexterity saving throw.
Mhm.
All right. So flames shoot out of the ground, and does he get out of the way? No, he does not.
Excellent. So he is going to take 5 plus 3.
So -8. Ah, you just burn him alive.
You add your
spent-
mod to that? Holy crap.
Yeah.
and just kind of melts in the flames.
Serves him right.
All right, kobold. All right, so this kobold here is restrained from the vine, so he's going to spend his action to obviously try to untangle himself from the vines.
Needs a 13.
Ah, he makes it. So he has a move action left.
That's actually a thing. Like, difficult terrain uses twice the amount of your movement, right?
Yeah, it takes 2
Yes.
squares to move
Yep.
1.
Yeah, so
Yep.
it still costs him like an extra square to get out. So
No,
Would it?
it's only 1 to go there. It would cost him
Oh.
2 to go. Oops. Oh, hang on. It would, if he was there, it would cost him 2 to go in there. And
right,
2 to
never
go
mind.
there, 2 to go there, 2 to go there. Yeah. But to leave, it's just 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He kind of charges forward with his mace out and kind of laughing at you as he approaches, thinking that he is so much superior than you. This kobold has been killed, so I'll take him out of the initiative. This kobold right here is also going to try to break free from the vines. Oh, it was on a 17, and it rolled just off. So he does nothing. He tries to struggle, but he cannot move. The lizardy wolf creature, he is also going to try... What was his mod again? This is a strength, right? So it's a +1.
Yeah, strength, and he has to beat a 13.
Yep.
Or maybe hit a 13.
Oh, it was on a 16 and it rolled over to the 8. Unbelievable. So you just hear him growling and hissing. He really, really wants to get free.
Yeah.
He sees some tasty morsels.
Nature says no.
Gavin, sir, you, the Dragonborn is now...
Okay. Well, I don't like the look of that guy, and he's also restrained, so that means I get advantage on my attack roll. So can I just clear shot at him?
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you using a bow or whatever?
I'm using Eldritch Blast,
Okay.
so it's going to be a ranged spell attack, with advantage. And does 21 hit?
Absolutely. Right into his grubby little face.
Then let's deal T10 of damage. I don't know why I rolled twice. Oh, because the crit. Yeah. So 7.
Oh, excellent. Nice job. -7 damage. All right. Anything else?
I'll just go ahead and move back to where I was because I still have 3 movement
Sure.
squares.
Go ahead.
Roll hit and run.
The only kobold that is freed here, he
Actually, going behind the house like that.
he's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let me take that back. Actually, he does. He is. I believe he's the archer. He would probably not run up there being the archer. That would be kind of
Well,
stupid.
Kobolds are stupid, right?
Yeah. But he is
He
going to
runs up and
take.
tries to hit you with a bow.
He is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kind of hisses at these two, which are like cowering on the ground. The lady's kind of like trying to help the old man up. She sees the kobold that's just moving her direction. She lets out a scream. At that point, the kobold takes a shot at Jacob with his bow, which is an attack of... What's their mod, please? Okay. So it's little bow, pulls it out, plink, And it just ricochets right off that armor. Then he will finish his move and kind of moves adjacent to the lady that is now kind of cowering on the ground with her hands up, screaming, "Ah, get away, get away!" Ah.
I don't know if that thing can speak common, but in case it can, it might hear me yelling at it. You leave her alone, or I promise I will never let you die, no matter how much you beg me.
Whew. All right, this kobold right here is going to try a save from the restraint, or strength check from the restraints.
That die just went crazy. I was like, woo!
Nope.
He actually rolled a 0.
He's like, more vines are wrapping around his neck at this point. It's like, this
He
is
accidentally
tripped and
ties
fell
him to
into
grass
more
into a
vines.
bow.
this is not working very well.
This is like the most effective start to an encounter.
This kobold right here in the corner, again, he kind of matches the look of this kobold and has a bow. So he's just going to draw his bow and see if he can get a shot on anybody. Nope. All right.
Oh, 18 AC.
Can he do that while he's all tangled up in grass and vines?
Yeah,
You take a shot.
disadvantage.
Yep. If he's restrained, I don't think. Let me. Can somebody look that up real quick?
Yeah,
I think that's actually
I
in the
have
back
it
of the
up.
book. Let me see. Oh, you
I
have
have
it?
it up.
Okay.
Yeah, he can't move. His speed is 0. Attacks against him have advantage, and his attacks have disadvantage.
Ah.
Also, he has disadvantage on dexterity saving throws.
All right. So he will he will take a shot at Jacob with disadvantage, Neven. Now this is
Not happening.
not going so well, guys. I don't know.
It's going well for us. I don't know what you're
I think
talking
it's okay so far.
So the first dice is a 16. Second dice
I mean, he missed.
is a 16. So to 20. So his low is a 16, Jacob.
His roll's a 16. Yeah, he missed.
Really?
Toward armor class, yeah.
Wow.
Hey,
Oh, you must have some holy blessings there.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. All right, last but not least, Hollis finally kind of hanging back, being the old bounty hunter. He wants to see how his adversaries all perform before he even shows his adversaries what he can do. Did you see how I did that? Did you see how I did that? That's advantage for the DM right there. I'm telling you, that is advantage for the
Inspiration
DM.
for all the kobolds.
Wow, I tell you, that is awesome. All right, Mr. Hollis, go to it,
Yeah.
man.
Hollis, after seeing how the battle kind of plays out, will dash. Originally planning to stealth, but now seeing that they're all tangled up, he will dash south. 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we'll try to get around them.
Okay,
And that is my turn.
that's it.
Yes.
All right, so that is the end of the round. The lady and the old man are kind of stuck, so they are not going to be able to do anything. So we will start at the beginning of the round. Basically, all they do is kind of the old man's kind of pleading for his life, the lady's screaming, basically.
question.
All right.
Yes,
Bows don't create a threat range, do they?
those.
So, like, if they tried to move away, they wouldn't cause an attack of opportunity, right?
Yeah. With a range attack, no.
Yeah.
If anything, the archer, if he tried, he would get a attack of opportunity from them.
I don't think it specifically says.
Well, that's 4E again. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was like that in the beta. I wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure they just take disadvantage if there's like somebody near them. I don't know if they get an opportunity attack.
I can look it up.
I think they figure you're moving away from them, so
Oh, I think I have a plan
bow
to
would
deal with them.
a bow would work. But we'll see if it comes into play. If not, somebody can look that up. Naya, your turn, ma'am.
All right.
Ma'am.
So, that's interesting. How I just see if I didn't have just 2 spell slots, these guys who are restrained apparently they have disadvantage on dex saving throws. Now would be a perfect time to hit them with fairy
blast
fire.
them. No.
But yeah, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, I am again going to consult the book because I want to be clear on how this works. Druidcraft. You create one of the following effects within range. It has a 30-foot range. You instantly light or snuff out a candle, torch, or small campfire. I can make a fire the size of a campfire with my druid craft cantrip that I can't say. If I get in range of this guy, can I set his clothes on fire?
He'll make a dex saving throw against your spell.
Well, it's all I've got. So 1,
Improvising.
like 10, 15, 20.
Oh, you just stepped on a lady and your guts and
I
everything.
stepped around it.
Oh, okay.
25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He is right at the edge of my range. So again, raising my staff aloft, I point at him and I just try to just light up his hair or his clothes or whatever parts of him. If I could set the bow on fire, that'd be great. I wonder, do I make like a... I know there's a spellcraft attack roll, and then there's like... would it be
I don't know if it matters for your spell, but he's actually 30 feet away.
Yeah, the range of druidcraft is 30 feet exactly.
Okay. I thought you said 5 spaces, but he's...
Yeah, I can't get to him this turn, so I'm just trying to set his ass on fire.
All right. So he will roll
And if it's a dex,
dex
13.
saving throw. He does. But we do have a little bit of residual fire here. Shh. Coming out of the ground there. You love my drawing?
I like it. Perfect.
Are
Actually,
there any gameplay aspects to that?
If you enter the area, you will make a dexterity save against his spell just to make sure you don't catch on fire.
Now, again, this is sort of RPing this out. I don't know if there are actually rules for this, but does that actually, like, a big massive fire just roars up around him and he's like, oh crap, and he's dodging to get out of the way?
Is this a instant spell?
This is an instantaneous spell.
Okay, so there's no lingering effect. I apologize.
Oh.
Disregard that then. Yeah,
sort
I
of a
thought it was
push.
I thought it was like a continuous campfire spell. No.
Yeah. If its clothes had caught on fire, they would continue burning.
Yeah.
I mean, you can use this to light campfires and torches and stuff.
Right. Okay.
So, but yeah, mainly I was thinking, like, if he's at all distracted by having to dodge this sudden puff of flame that just appeared out of nowhere, then
Right.
I guess I could try yelling to the villagers to run.
All right, Barlin, your turn.
That's all I can do.
Okay. I look at Jacob, and just be like, "Hey, Jacob, check this out." Kind of give him a wink. Just be like, "You got this."
You better not fail on this now, buddy. You better not fail.
I hope not. I moved 2 spaces up to the kobold, and
This would be a really unfortunate time to roll a 1.
yeah, no, right? And I roll for an attack.
$14 is a hit.
That's crazy. All right.
Oh, I just figured it out. Like that rolling off the sheet, it's actually going ahead and rolling twice. All
Yep.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Yes.
Wow.
10 snap.
Just right through the brain.
Right through his skull. Yes. And,
I nod in approval.
Good
Alright.
job. Do you want to finish your move? Because you still have movement left.
Yeah, I can go through him, right?
You can, now that he's laying on the ground going...
All right.
Step on
Kick
his
his
head.
kick his head a little bit, and be like, "Ha!" And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2,
Alright.
3, 4, 5.
And
You
then
moved one too many.
one too
Oh, no,
many.
wait. You were here in this space?
Yes.
So
Okay,
move
1, 2,
two,
3,
and
4,
then-
5, 6. You're fine. Yep. You're
Okay,
fine.
yeah.
Yep.
And then I just stare at the archer. Just be like, "Yeah, next."
Jacob, you just seen the Drow outdoing you. What are you going to do about that?
Alright, I know exactly what I'm gonna do about that. Before that, quick question. I'm wielding a shield and a warhammer, which is versatile. Can I use it with 2 hands
Nope.
with the shield, or no? No, I
Nope.
can't do that.
Nope, you must be using
Okay.
2 hands to get the versatile.
Okay, so I'm going to move. Is there like a
Here.
easier way to move these?
Move
and just, like,
here.
drag them into
This is really fun down here.
It's
That's
just
a
for
1,
simple
2.
terrain.
Yeah, for the record, I don't think the writhing plants distinguish between friends and not.
They do not. No.
Okay.
Or
It won't restrain you though. You only have to
6.
do a difficult terrain.
I was actually wondering about that. Like, if it goes off and then someone goes in there, if they get restrained. But like,
No, I think you're. I think it's just right off the bat they try to like wrap around you,
yeah.
and then otherwise they won't
Otherwise,
do
it's
anything.
just
Yeah.
difficult terrain. Okay, I got you.
All right, so
I'm
I'm
learning.
gonna go ahead and run past Barlin and raise my hammer above my head, and I'm gonna bring it down on this kobold's head.
All right. 18 is absolutely a hit.
All right, let's see what this does.
11 damage? What?
That is nice.
You just crashed his whole head into his chest. So,
+3. Yeah, you got a +3, don't you?
Drive him like a tent
Why are
spike.
we so
Max
strong?
roll.
all right, I can remove that kobold from the track. That's a lot of fun. Okay, this kobold right down here, screaming and whimpering that he wants free. Free! I want free! I want free!
Does he get free?
He does not.
let's just say at the end of his turn, he's yelling, "I want free! I want free!"
And in between these squeals, if he listens carefully, he can almost hear the tribal spirits of nature laughing at him.
The lizard-like wolf also is growling and grunting and trying to tear at these vines as they're wrapping around him, and still, oh, so sad. Gavin.
This is my new favorite spell.
Evan comes back out and gets in range or gets in view to see attack the creature again.
Excellent.
He says, "Oh, what's wrong, puppy?"
Ah.
Attack roll.
17 is absolutely a hit.
Well, those both suck. 3.
3. Not bad. -3.
So
He's still kind of whimpering. It just ricochets off his shoulder, but definitely leaves a mark. Finish any move?
Yeah, I almost use all of it, so I'll just stay where I am.
All right. Let's see. Is this kobold? Let's see. Where's he at? Yeah, he is got his head in his chest, so he's out. All right. This kobold right here is struggling again. Me want free too. Ah, he's made it. He's going to move 2, 3, 4, and basically, you see him helping try to give the lizard-like wolf. He's like trying to hack at the vines and stuff. So the ambush drake is going to get advantage on his next attempt. This kobold right here in the corner, still with the arrow. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. So many good targets out there. Well, I'll tell you what. Since he just saw his kobold friend break free, he's been thinking that maybe he ought to get out of there too. So he is going to spend his action. Oh, almost! Jeez, a little more workout in the gym, buddy. And now it is Hollis's turn.
Alright, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And these two kobolds are still ensnared, yes?
Yes.
Well, fighting wasn't really in my plan, but this is a turkey shoot. Can't resist. I will attack the large lizard-looking thing, since it's still
Over here? Alright.
biggest threat, yeah. With my longbow. Where is that? weapons. Here we go.
23 is a hit.
Alright. And
Minus 6. All right, he's pretty wounded now. He's got a couple arrows sticking out of him. He's got some eldritch fire still.
Force damage.
Yep, Naya. Yeah, end of the turn. Panic little lady, panic man, not doing anything. Kind of in awe of what's going on.
I just realized I was still muted again.
Right. We enjoyed that.
Yep. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's close enough to get that archer with another spell. This is going to be a cantrip. And again, I'm trying to find it because I want to make sure I do it right. It is... Where are you? Where are you? Oh, wait, here it is. Okay, poison spray. This is a range of 10 feet, so I'm just close enough to get him. I extend my hand towards a creature I see within range and project a puff of noxious gas from my palm. The creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take D12 poison damage.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, he needs to roll a con save and get a 13.
Constitution. Oh my gosh. Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't write it.
You're like a -5.
Is he tired from having... He spent like 30 seconds just struggling against these vines, so he should be tired. I think he gets disadvantage.
If only it was that easy. I got to give him every advantage. You guys are waxing him so bad right now. I got to give him every advantage they got.
What I do?
It's the highest damaging cantrip, I think.
Oh. He somehow, like, in his, like, writhing around, he just managed, like, he just ducks under, like, this green jet that shoots out of her fingers.
Excellent.
It's a really short range, though, so I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I took it because, D12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
I could hit as hard as a warhammer with that.
Yeah, no joke.
The downside is I have to get over there. But yeah, in case he does get free, as I'm closing in, I kind of reach around and pull my wooden shield off my back and ready it.
All right, Marlon?
How does, like, putting away weapons and taking out weapons work?
Anytime you do a move action, you can interact with one object during that move. So open a door, put a weapon away, draw a weapon, anything like that, you can interact during a move action for free.
Okay.
So if you wanted to move and draw a weapon, move and put away a weapon, that's completely fine.
Gotcha. I'm just gonna move to the wolf guy. 1, 2. As I pass this old man, I look at him and I check him out, see if he's all right.
He looking at you like scared you're gonna stab him. He's like afraid of you. You are a scary creature to him.
Good. I smile widely.
And your white drow teeth and the black of night with your black skin really show, and he just stares at you like in awe of, wow, this black creature of the night is smiling at me. That's pretty cool.
And then keep on moving to here.
All right.
And I take an attack on the wolf guy. Dang it.
And 11 is a miss.
I use my action surge to attack again.
You have that already?
Level 1, yeah. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. That's level... I get second wind. Never mind.
Yeah, we got all the cool stuff at level 2.
I sit there twiddling my thumbs, pretending I didn't miss.
He's like, nobody can see that. It's too dark over here.
Here's the excuse that I use. Like, he's writhing around trying to get free of this stuff, and he just happened to duck.
Jacob says, I saw that!
Jacob, you can show him how it's done, sir. It's your turn.
Sounds good to me. Okay. How could I do this one?
if you can get to that kobold who's trying to pull him loose, you might want to drop him
Yeah,
because
I
he's
think
giving the
that's what
other
I'm
guy
gonna do.
advantage.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
All
I'm
right.
going to draw my warhammer and take a strike at this kobold outside of the square.
All right.
Okay, so where did my character sheet go?
It disappeared. No, I have no idea.
Here we go. All right.
Yeah, they have a bad habit of just
Bada bing,
closing
bada
themselves
boom.
when you minimize them.
A 14, because that's your original roll. You do not have advantage on him. Is still a hit though.
Excellent. Uh-oh.
4 damage.